Hello, this is Dustin with Home Mender, and today we have a raggedy fence. We're gonna change out this fence, and the gate needs some serious help too. I'm gonna show you how. Let's get to it. If your fence has extra latches on it for no apparent reason, or it's being held up by wire, you may need some help. We're going to start by taking the screws out of the panel that's attached to the post. Now yours may be screwed in, they may be nailed in. Or we can yank it down. Done. After you get the fence out of there, we got to dig up the old post and the concrete. Now we're going to keep the same layout as it was previously there. We had 8 foot off of this, stops at a gate, 36-inch gate, another 8-foot panel, and then it's going to go off with about another 36-inch piece. So the way I'm going to lay out my posts is where I want the gate placed, and also I want it 8 feet off of the neighbor's fence because that's how long a panel is. The idea is to expose all 4 sides of the post, and maybe even if you could get down to the concrete and dig around one side of that, that way we can start wiggling it, pry it out of there. After you got your post exposed, I can wiggle this a little bit. I want to try to pull it out of there. So I took a treated 2x4, screwed deck screws into it, and I've got my leverage block right here. I'm going to put my post under and try to pull it out. Bam! Now we drop our 8-foot 4x4 in there. After we get our post set, we got 60-pound concrete per post. I like to throw some water in it first, just so it's a little wet. You don't have to mix up the concrete, but it is good that there's some moisture in there. The concrete draws the moisture from the ground and will harden the concrete without you mixing it. Concrete goes all around the 4 sides of the post. Throw a little more water on there. When you get your posts in there, one way that you can prop them up in the ballpark position of plumb is that you can wedge rocks and maybe bits of concrete from your old post in to wedge it in and keep it tight while you pour the concrete around it. After you get the concrete in, we're going to throw a level on it. Make sure we're inside the lines with the bubble. Move it as needed. Whoa. Phew! After your posts are set, I've got my 6-inch dog ear panels here. I'm going to secure them to my post with 3.5-inch deck screws. Now I know my fence is level because my post is level, and if I'm uniform all the way down from the picket to the post, I know I'm right. I hung this panel flush with the edge of the post because this is where my gate is going to be, and I want my gate to fit inside the post. Now when we hang our other side, we want them to be level because when we put our gate in the middle, it's really going to look bad if they're unlevel. So before hanging this other side, we're going to throw this picket up on top, throw a level up there, and it looks like we're almost level. I want to pick it up a little bit before I screw it down. So I'm going to slide a pry bar under this because I need just a little bit more height. We're going to pick up the panel just a little bit and screw it down. Now we're right on the money. Now to find out how tall to make the frame of the gate, we're going to measure stringer to stringer. I've got about 56. So my gate is going to be 39.5 by 56 for the frame. So I've got my frame pre-cut. I went ahead and 45 the frame so I can picture frame it in, and that should keep it perfectly square. When you screw it together, just make sure it's on the same plane. All right, now when you're placing your pickets on the gate frame, You're gonna make sure that it's somewhat similar to the existing fence. These are 9 inches. So on the picket placement, just make sure your stringer is about 9 inches from the top. You don't want to hang your gate and then have to hang it super tall with a big gap at the bottom to make sure it lines up with your fence. Nail the first one off with galvanized nails. Now we're going to flip the gate over and we'll throw a cross brace on the inside. For the cross brace, you're going to want to throw a 2x4 over your frame, wherever you want your brace to go, and then you can mark the angle of the side of the frame. Now, for all the brace nuts out there who talked about my last gate video that the brace was in the wrong way, frankly, I don't think there can be a brace in the wrong way, but if there is a correct way to do it, you're going to want the bottom of the brace to be at your hinge side. Alright, now we're going to set the hinge. I've got the decorative T hinge. The T is going to go on this section, and this you're going to want it to be, put it at a 90 so you know where it's going to contact your post. So I'm going to put this the hinge pin section right at the edge of my gate. Alright, so when I go to hang the gate, I'm going to lay a 2x4 down on the ground because I'm going to set my gate on top of it. That way it'll be off the ground when it's done. Alright, so I'm going to make sure my gate is flush with the remaining of my fence. I think we're going to go about here. Okay, you can see the position of this hinge. That is right on the outside edge of that post. So when we go down to do our bottom hinge, we're going to place it in the same position, right close to the edge, just like that one. With our 2 screws in, we're going to check the gate, make sure it's not hitting. We're looking good. Go ahead and screw the rest of the hinge off after you know it's right. Now we're going to place our slide latch. I've got one of these guys here. Now we're going to place it right at the edge. Got my slide latch placed. I'm going to bring the gate up to flush with the remaining fence, and I'm going to mark where this guy is going to go so we can drill a hole. So that's it. We just rocked that fence replacement. We put some new posts in, built a gate, and hung a few panels. Now you should be able to do your entire fence, no problem. So for the Home Mender, I'm Dustin. I hope you learned something today, and if you did, don't forget to click subscribe. Thanks for watching.